What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We ain't gonna do a whole lot of talking. We're gonna get right into it.
Let's get into it. I was watching Married at First Sight, y'all, and it surprises me every season how unprepared some of these women are. Willing to get married to a stranger, but you're seemingly unprepared for what marriage requires. Here's why a lot of modern women don't need to get married. They don't want to compromise. They do not see faults in themselves. They want a complete package, but they ain't a complete package. It is not always about how you feel. Feelings change. You cannot make decisions on a feeling. Not good at meeting anyone else's needs but their own. I say this all the time. Selfish people do not need to get married. It requires sacrifice, and it's not going to always be about you.
Now, before we move on, what I will say is you got to understand that if you are trying to get married, that has got to be a lifestyle. You have to switch it up. You can't play married. You can't just be married. You have to switch your lifestyle up. It's the same exact thing as if you go on a diet. Why you think people don't last on a diet? Because you haven't switched it up. You have to switch it up to be a lifestyle. It has to be something that you just normally do, because something foreign, you're only going to do it for a little while. Yeah, you can make shit into a habit, but you got to continuously do it. And that has become a part of your life. And it's the same thing with being married. If you want to be married, it has to be a lifestyle. But keep going. Well, we're going to keep going because I got a couple more clips in here, and then I'll do a whole thing of all of them together.
Real love isn't about you. So this is how I know immediately where somebody's at. How's it going with so-and-so? I just love the way they make me feel. I love what they do for me. I love the way they talk to me. Are any of those things bad? No, but that isn't love. You're getting a need met from this person that you're addicted to. This is like the serial dater does this, because the real love part kicks in when that emotion wears off. And then it's like, as soon as the emotion wears off, it's like, oh, I'm going to dump this person and go back, find somebody who will meet that emotional cycle again. That's not love. That's being addicted to a biochemical reaction that feels really fucking good.
In a relationship, let me try to help you right now. Rule 1, stop competing. It's not a fucking competition. Her success is your success, and your success is her success. Number 2, there is no equality in a relationship. You're both there to serve. You are in the service industry, okay? That's right. When you're in a relationship, you're in a band. And when you're in a band, you have roles that you play in the band. Sometimes you sing lead, and sometimes you're on tambourine. And if you're on tambourine, play it right. Play it with a fucking smile. Because nobody wants to see a mad tambourine player.
Now, listen, you know, a lot of times women want to get married so bad that they'll say yes, 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 yes to this, yes to that, yes to that. But it's so many different things. To me, you get a new PlayStation, new phone, when it goes down and say, oh, check the box, I have read the following and I agree to the terms. We never read that shit. We never read it. That's how marriage is. You just be like, yeah, I want it. Because you want to hurry up and get to the fun part. But you got to understand, the small print is where it's at. In a marriage, you got to understand that you're going to be having sex for this person forever, for the rest of your life. You got to understand that if, you're going to have to cook for this man. You're going to have to even when you get pissed off, it ain't no going through. You thinking that marriage is that day that we see on these movies and this is, nah. What about when everybody ain't dead? What about them arguments? It took me a minute because I was one like, man, I'm out. I ain't putting up with that bullshit with you. Nah, fuck that. But once I got married and I understood that you're gonna go through ups and downs, you're gonna go through that bullshit. But if you truly love this person and you got married for the right reasons, that shit'll come back. If you understand that part, that's one of the hardest parts that you got to understand about marriage, and the fact that you got to have sex with the same person forever. But anyway, let's keep going.
Have a problem with submission because they view it as it's something that's negative. No. You should be able to submit to your man because you should be able to trust enough in his leadership. And a lot of the times when you men say like, oh, I don't want you going to a bar, I don't want you going to a club, it's because you're a fucking man. You know what happens there. You know that men there just want to fuck, or there's weirdos that want to put shit in your drinks, or there's drama, or it's just a whole ass environment that you can't be there to protect your female if it came down to it. You would have to live with that guilt. You know what I mean? She gets assaulted and you can't do nothing about the man that did that to her. You would live with that. And women don't understand that. They think it's control. No, your man's being a protector, as he should. And as a woman, you should respect it. You should honor the fact that your man can see the dangers that you can't. Simple as that.
Let me say this to you, to the women. Submission is not a bad thing as long as it's to the right person. You understand what I'm saying? And to the men, you gotta understand, if a woman ain't submitting to you, then she don't see it in you. If you gotta argue about your respect or argue for a woman to submit, then she don't see you in the light that you think that you're in. Is that right? If a woman don't submit to you or is not submissive to you, then she don't see you in the light that you think that you're in. But for the women, let me explain it to you. A man showing concern about a situation like that shows he cares. That's on a different level. He don't want you going to the club because he cares. Now the problem, when you need to get as upset or worry, is when this nigga don't give a fuck where you go. Yeah, you can go. I don't care. Why would you want to be in a situation like that? Why would you want to be in a relationship like that? Because he don't give a fuck about it. Yeah, you go ahead and go to the club. Or y'all going to the Bahamas for girl. Okay, go ahead. Why? What's the point of that? This nigga, if he's doing it like that, that means he care about you too on another level. He care about you, button your coat up. Oh, did you take your vitamin today? He care about you on that type of level. If you want real love, you want something better than just that average shit that y'all been getting, this motherfucker poking you and getting on, then you gotta change up some shit. You gotta be able to put some shit into the game too. You gotta be able to give him what he wants out of the game too. You see what I'm saying? Or it's not gonna work, period. But let's keep getting it.
I will give you the most amazing man. He will tap into all your needs. He will make sure you are protected, never cheat on you. All you need to do is be submissive to him. 90% of women will sign up right away.
What does submissive mean?
Submissive meaning in allowing him to lead in a relationship. Well, let me say this, because I think when people hear submission, they do think of dictatorship.
Right.
They think of doing as he says. They're thinking of this
His way or
power
the
struggle.
highway,
Yes. Submission, in my eyes, when it comes to relationship, is one, allowing that man to love you. What I mean by that is this. When a man is truly in love with a woman, he wants to do for her. He wants to provide for her. He wants to make sure she's good. If you don't submit to that, you're going to be in this energy that's, I got it. I can take care of it. It's not letting him love you. And in not letting him love you, you're carrying this unnecessary burden that's wearing you down.
I believe
That's facts though. You don't submit to a man and let him love you and you're not getting the full man. You understand what I'm saying? You gotta let him operate in his full manhood in order for you to get what you want out of it. Now I agree. Every nigga don't need to be submitted to. You feel like you too much woman for this nigga. I get that part. But if you don't fully commit to this situation and go ahead and submit, then you missing out and you wasting your fucking time. And it's nobody's fault but your own. So let's keep
being submissive to a man to a certain degree. I really do. And I know people would never believe that, but I do believe in that. I think your man should feel like a king. I don't think that you should step on your man's toes. And even though I'm a lot to handle, I fall back in my relationship.
Now think about that. What you might think about them, I know she don't submit. She's telling you out her mouth she submits. And she's still the same person. She's still everything that you thought she was. But now you find out something behind the scenes. Even she submits to her man. The big deal come in is when you thinking about what your friend's gonna think about you submitting. Anyway, let's keep getting it.
You wouldn't want my son to be like me.
I wouldn't want them to do some of the things that you have
done. And I wouldn't want my daughters to do some of the things you've done. We're human. That's what I'm trying to say.
You would want them to do majority of the things that I've done.
Listen, what I'm saying is, when you talk about me, don't sum me up. Facts, right? Don't sum me up on the worst side of me or what you consider the worst side of me. Because ain't nobody fucking perfect. So don't do that. That's what we're not going to do. Because as a man, guess what? I got to stand on mine too. Because guess what? Let me tell you something. I didn't go to college. Guess what? Fine. I want my kids to go to college. So we can say that right now. I don't want them to go that direction. I want them to go to college. I can say that with you too. Right. But don't sit here in front of the world, in front of a medium, and say, oh, I wouldn't want my son or your sons to be like you. Hold on. No, you're going to put some respect on my name. Because at the end of the day, I'm successful. I take care of my kids. Okay. Ain't none of my kids out here in dire need of love and support. Okay. So we're going to do that. Okay? Because I don't appreciate that. Because there's some things about you that I could say I wouldn't want my daughters to do.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to do that. I respect you and I love you enough.
I want this magazine to know
what
respect it is
the
about
integrity.
me. You don't want your daughters.
I'm not going to do that.
You should.
I'm not going to do that.
Be my guest.
I'm not
gonna be slighted, honey.
I'm not gonna do that. That's where we have to draw the line.
Okay.
Because I don't care because the camera in front of me or somebody asking me questions. I'm not gonna reveal my everything that go on with me. Just like right now, you ain't gonna sit here in front of these people and tell what your credit score is. You ain't gonna sit here and tell them your social security number. You ain't gonna sit here and tell them what's in your bank account either.
I won't.
Okay, so some things are better left fucking unsaid and in the private, and that's what I'm gonna do. So when you addressing me, don't ever make it seem like I'm the worst of the worst, because I'm not.
Okay.
Because I came through and changed your life, and it wasn't about me having no money. It was about the integrity. It was about my integrity. It was about me standing up for you. It was about me helping you open your eyes to see things that no other man has gotten you to do. So when you talk about me and address me, please be mindful of that, because I love you for who you are, good and bad.
You know I love you for who you are.
But I would never say to the world that I wouldn't want my daughters to be like you, because then it makes me question, why are you with me?
I'm not with you for the bad things. I'm not with you for having outside
children. But just don't ever say that again, please.
Okay, well, you asked me.
You got it in this interview. Don't let me hear you say that again.
Okay.
Ever, please. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I appreciate it.
Now, what I'm gonna say about this one is, first, because there's a couple things in this one. First of all, as a man, you got to get your respect. Period. Like, women got to know there's a consequence. She got a little bit out of pocket on this one because you revealing shit to people, to social media. Think about it before you put it up there, because y'all business ain't everybody's business. I was that, and you still stayed with me. So before you come out here and say shit like that, you gotta understand what you're saying, who you're saying that shit to, and saying that shit on the internet. That is a no. Think about that shit before you put some shit on the internet. All right, so that's the end of the video, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, and well, you ain't really gotta share this shit, but just like and subscribe, man, and I'll see y'all the next time. Peace.